Today, we're bringing a home buyers tour to Atlanta, Georgia, and I got one of the top lenders here to tell you all about all of the programs available in ATL, Georgia, y'all. I bet you didn't know these programs were available for anybody to buy a home this year in 2024. We're talking about the Supreme Dream, and we're talking about the Supreme 100. We're going to be giving y'all the game on how you can buy a home in 2024 in Atlanta, Georgia. Rory Hudson, D Saul, Money Talk Mondays. Tap in, Money Talk Mondays. Let's go. Yo, what's going on? How y'all feeling today? It's your host, D Saul, with another episode of the Money Talk Mondays podcast. This video was sponsored to you by Credit Repair Hacks. Credit Repair Hacks is one of the world's first AI digital credit repair softwares. You're able to repair your credit from your phone. You literally pick and choose what it is that you want to get removed from your credit, and Credit Repair Hack will send out that dispute letter for you. Check them out. Happy New Year. It's 2024. How y'all feeling today? I got a very special guest with me today, Mr. Rory Hudson with Supreme Lending, and we're going to be talking about these home buyer programs in the ATL, Georgia, y'all. Y'all know it's about to go down this year. It's plenty of people that want to buy homes, and what better way to bring it in with an expert in the lending world. He's going to be coming and sharing a good dose of home buyer programs for all of my Atlanta buyers out there, y'all. We're going to have fun tonight. We're going to talk about some programs. We're going to talk about why is it a good time and what we expect these interest rates to do here in 2024. I hope y'all are having a great new year so far, and we're going to hop right on in, man. Rory, what's going on, brother? How you been?
I'm good, D-Saul. How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
I've been doing great. I've been feeling like a millionaire lately. I mean, I'm embodying that millionaire mode, man, and it's been feeling good.
I like to hear it, man. I like to hear it. It's a good time. It's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to be in this state, the state of Georgia. It's a good time to be in Atlanta. The people are great. The culture's great. Houses are moving. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, you're right about that. I love Atlanta. It's nothing like eating some good food after we close on good deals, man. I love closing deals and going to celebrate with a good meal in Atlanta. And I can help in all 50 states, by the way. So if you're listening to this message, I will drop a few resources at the end of the video to help you learn how to buy a home. After we tell you this information, you definitely going to want to put yourself in the driver's seat to buy that home. Rory, tell the crowd a little bit about you, man. I know we've worked a couple of times with a couple of clients and you've been able to get the job done. Tell my audience a little bit about you, what you like to do, and what kind of services that you offer for them.
Well, my name is Rory Hudson. I'm a lender. I'm a loan officer with Supreme Lending, Supreme Lending Southeast to be exact. So we're located in Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Okay.
Now, Supreme Lending is across all 50 states. But my division or the franchise of my company is the Supreme Southeast. But we can find you a loan officer with the same qualities in any state at any time. I love what I do. I love helping people buy homes. I love first-time home buyers. I believe everybody deserves a chance at home buyership. And there's a lot of lenders out there that don't believe that. If you don't have the right credit score, if you don't have a certain amount of money that you're making per year, then they don't feel like they want to help you at all. I like to help everyone. Everyone deserves a chance at it. And the only time that you don't deserve it is when you prove that you can't maybe afford it. You can't manage your money. But we believe in serving others before self. If I can help somebody, even if I'm not helping them get a house, if I'm leaving them better than when I first met them, that's all that matters. If I've been able to help them improve their credit, if I've been able to help them maybe manage their money different or get a budget together or make a better decision so that they can plan for a better future, then I've done my job. And that's our core value at Supreme Lending, is serving others before self.
Absolutely. I love it, bro. And that's probably one reason why we connected, because we do share that in common. I absolutely have a passion for helping people. For me, in my journey and my experience, it was once a time where I didn't know certain things, and just getting that information and learning that information changed my life. So if I could be instrumental in saying one thing or teaching somebody some things that I've learned to be able to change their life, that's abundance for me. For me to be able to say something, you remember me changing your life like that. I love that. And so that's what I do it for. I have a very, very passion for helping people, especially the underserved, right? You got
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of buyers that is responsible with their money, but they just didn't know a couple of things. So it affected their credit. It affected the way they save money. So that's what I'm here for. That's why I do this podcast, to make the most advanced concepts about money simplified, right? So if I simplify it, now it'll be on you. It'll give you that hope and that opportunity to make that choice, to be able to take that information and do something with it, like buy a home, like fix your credit, or whatever that thing is. And that's my goal today. I know it's a lot of new me home buyers out there in Atlanta right now, for sure. I walk across them every day. So I wanted to hop on this episode to give the people, give them some hope on how they can buy a home this year in 2024, despite the interest rate, despite what the market is telling them right now. Even though, in our expert opinion, it is a great time to buy. Tell me what's going on in the mortgage and the real estate world.
Well, Diesel, I'll tell you right now, it's always a good time to buy if you can afford it. No one knows. No one can see the future. Anyone that tells you they know exactly what's going to happen, don't trust them. Are there people that are really good at predicting things? Of course there are. You know, I follow them. Barry Habib, Doug Duncan.
Okay.
Doug Duck is a chief economist and forecaster of Fannie Mae. One of my favorite people, because is he perfect? No. Is anybody perfect? No. But the guy knows what he's talking about, and he always looks at the market, and he's been able to forecast so many things. Same thing with Barry Habib. He's been in the mortgage business for a very long time. Let me tell you one thing I do know. Inflation is finally down. Okay. Inflation's back down into the low threes, and it's going to go back and forth. Where does that leave interest rates? Well, interest rates had to go up because the Fed, Chairman Powell specifically, really, really, really wanted to get inflation under control, and he wanted to stop people from buying houses, because COVID taught us one thing: when we drop interest rates to below 3%, the country goes crazy. Home buyers come out of the woodwork. It's just, there was so many of them, which made selling your house a gold mine, because so many people were trapped at home and realized, I can't stay here anymore. This house doesn't work for me, or I need something bigger, or I need an office, or I need a better backyard.
Yeah.
I need to live somewhere that has all four seasons, or is closer to an airport that can get me overseas. Well, Georgia became like number 3 in the country destination place to move, especially Atlanta and Metro Atlanta. And everything started great. But what was the news telling you back then? Bad time to buy, bad time to buy, bad time to buy. The news doesn't know what they're talking about. All they want from you is to have some fear, is to have some drama. The more drama they create, the more ratings they get.
The more money
But
they
they're not telling you for the actual knowledge of it. Yeah, I'm in the mortgage business. Is it good for me when people are buying homes? Of course it is. If you come to me and you can't afford a home, I'm going to tell you can't afford a home, because you can't afford one. It was a bad time to buy. But if you can afford, it's always a good time to buy. Any financial advisor will tell you, number 1, cash is king. Number 2, real estate. If you're trying to secure your future, you need real estate. You need to own your own home. Why are you paying somebody else's retirement? So
Exactly.
the Fed raised rates faster than they've ever raised rates in the history of the Fed. In such a short time, we went from 3.5% to 7.5%, like that overnight.
Just like
And
that.
it changed the whole market. It was nuts. It was a scary time. We even got all the way up to 8.5%. We broke the 30-year average. So people got scared. Markets slowed down so much. Were there still people buying houses? Absolutely. Okay, were there still people buying investment homes? Absolutely. Just wasn't as many. But we saw the fastest ever rate drop that we've ever seen between October and December of 2023, when rates dropped over 50 basis points, 0.5% in like 3 weeks, and then continued to fall.
Wow. Yeah.
So the Fed knows that with inflation being under control, they don't ever want to see inflation to go up the way it did. They don't ever want to see the housing market create something like that again. And the only way to stop that is we're probably never going to see 3% again in the interest rates. Those days are gone. And if we do, no one's probably buying a house anyways because something bad's happening, and the market is there maybe, but there's a crazier pandemic or a world war, something big and global that's stopping people from buying. So we're probably never going to see it. Will we see 4% again? Possibly. But what I know is over the next 18 months, especially throughout the 2024 and going into 2025, rates are going to continue to come down because the Fed has to lower rates at least 6 times. That's it. They have to do at least 6 rate drops. So we're going to see rates continue to drop as the year goes on, possibly down, hopefully by the end of the year, in the low 6s and maybe even high 5s. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. Anything can happen, but that's the way we're trending. And that's the way I think it's going to happen. And we may even get back down into the 4s by the end of 2025.
Right, right. And I love what you said there. I love how hey, we are in the real estate industry and we love if you would buy a home right now. And that is what feeds our family. So be a we have to be a teacher and educate you on what's really real. Like, we're not just going to rely on what the news will tell you, because the news are going to scare you out of buying a home, right? And it's just so many benefits from buying a home. I tell all of my clients this: look, if you wait until interest rates get to its lowest, now you have no leverage to negotiate, right? The whole thing with real estate is we want to buy a property for the best value. Real estate is one of the things that keeps up with inflation, right? Real estate is always appreciating. So we want to get the best value. So in 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, our asset that we purchase today will be worth more. So if you go into a market where the interests are low, just like it did in 2020, when the interest rates were at its lowest, now you can't get all of that baked in value in your home because there's bidding wars going on. And that in 2020, people were literally paying $50,000 over asking price.
100 to 125,000 on some homes, over value.
Why? Right? The name of the game is real estate is to buy an investment, right? We want this to take care of our future. You know what I mean? So now is the great time to buy because you're able to get better deals. A lot of my buyers are getting closing cost assistance that they wouldn't have gotten in 2020, right? All of their closing costs paid. They're getting down payment programs, what we're going to talk about very shortly, that's available for them now. Like, why not buy now? And if the interest rates do go to its lowest, refinance. It's almost like the wealthy people are sitting back laughing, right? We're going to go ahead and shop real estate right now where everybody is scared. I'm going to buy this for this price. I'm going to get a deal here. I'm going to get a deal there. I'm just going to stack up all of these real estate assets for the lowest I can get them, because sellers still have to sell, right? And then once the market does correct itself, which people are waiting on, and interest rates go low, now people are bidding $100,000 over asking price. Well, hey, I'm going to sell my asset that I bought for value in 2024. Right now it's 2030. Everybody is buying and bidding $100,000 over. Now I'm gonna put my house on the market and profit over those people. People don't understand that that's the trend, and the wealthy know this, right? And so that's my job. That's my passion, to kind of teach people and show them the other side of this thing. Yes, interest rates are higher than they were a few years ago, but guess what? It is the same as it was maybe 6 years ago, right? In 2018. Right? What was interest rates then, right? If interest rates goes back to the 4s and 5s, now we're at the lowest that it was at that particular time. So it's no way to guess this thing. There's no way to know what is the lowest. For what we know right now may be the lowest. What if interest rates shoots into the 15%, right? You want to buy a home, you had an opportunity to get it at 6%, right? You had an opportunity to get it at 6, but you waited hoping that it went to 3, which it may not. Now it's 15, and now you really want to buy. Now you stuck buying at 15%.
Well, 3 main reasons why it's such a great time to buy. And these are tools. These are things just like you're talking about, Saul. I mean, your future is at stake. One, there's less people buying right now. There's no bidding wars. Less people out there means sellers can't get everything they're asking for. So, like you said, they're offering closing cost concessions. 2, rates are going to continue to drop. The Fed has announced that they're doing rate drops as the year goes on. They got to do 6 of them this year. That means interest rates are going to drop. What does that mean for you? It means you refi in a couple of years.
Yes.
All right. And 3, home values are still going up. and they're going to continue to go up. So if you wait to buy, then you're paying more for the home. You're battling it out with someone when there's more buyers out there, when interest rates go down, and you're not making the value that you could have made off that home if you bought now. And that price goes up. And you live, especially in Georgia, because Georgia is a top 5 destination place right now. And
Yes,
home values are going to rise faster in Georgia than they are on the average around the nation. So there's a few places like that across the country, and Georgia is one of them.
If you're in Atlanta right now, if you're in Georgia right now, just when you get off work today, just do me a favor and look at how many subdivisions they're building right now. Look and see how much land development they're doing right now. That lets you know Georgia is one of the fastest growing areas, right? And if it's fastly growing, people are steady coming here. And the people that are forced to come here, they're not waiting on interest rates. They got to move their family here, so they're going to buy. So a lot of people are going to buy. So the value of homes is going to increase rapidly because people are steady moving here and steady buying. So why not buy now? So while we on this topic, if people do decide to buy now, what are some of the things that they could benefit from? What programs does Georgia have for them to benefit from buying right now in 2024?
It's a great question, D-Saul. And there's a couple of great programs. The down payment assistance programs probably matter a lot more to the first-time home buyers than anybody else. In Georgia, we have what's called the Georgia Dream. That is a state-run bond program. It covers your down payment. They do have a maximum amount, so it doesn't benefit everybody, so because of the maximum amount. We have the Supreme Dream. There's a federal bond called the Chenoweth. There's also one called We DeKalb, which is for DeKalb County and Cobb County. The Supreme Dream, which is our Supreme Lending's bond program, was designed to be better than all of them. Mm-hmm. It's a 5-year down payment assistance program. It enables any buyer, doesn't matter your income, because there are no income limitations. The limitations on the loan are you must have a 620 credit score, and you must be buying in the state of Georgia. That's it. The DTI on it, which is your debt to income ratio, goes up to 56.9%. It's a down payment assistance program. It's phenomenal. How that works is it's called a bond loan. Your down payment, which does not come out of your wallet, it comes out of the Supreme Dream wallet, is paid for by a bond loan or a second loan that goes along with your mortgage. You pay nothing on that second loan. For 5 years, it just sits in that bond account. After 5 years of making your regular mortgage payment on time, the bond loan is forgiven. At any time, if you decide to refi or sell your house before the 5-year program is up, you will have to pay back the bond loan in full. So if your down payment is $7,500, just know that if you're moving, if you're refining, if you're doing something that's going to change your regular mortgage, you would have to pay back that bond loan. But it's a non-repayable, forgivable second loan. There are a lot out there that you pay interest on, or they're 10-year-long bond programs, and you pay those back slowly. Why do you want a higher mortgage payment? You can get a same bond loan, same down payment assistance through our Supreme Dream than you can through Georgia Dream, We DeKalb, or any of those, and there's no income limit restrictions. Now, for you Atlanta-only home buyers, for City of Atlanta, and unfortunately, it no longer contains Metro Atlanta. That was kind of back in the day. There's the Atlanta Housing Hero Grant. For all of my teachers, my educators, my first responders, anybody that works in the medical field, anybody that works at a junior high school, elementary school, high school, private school, daycare, maybe you're a janitor at a doctor's office. That qualifies as medical field. The Atlanta Housing Grant is a grant. It's up to $25,000 in assistance.
Wow.
It's a phenomenal program, and the requirements are simple. They're strict. City of Atlanta only. If your house is 0.1 miles outside of city limits, you will not qualify. You can only make 80% of the area mean income, which is about $88,000 a year right now. It'll change again here come this April. It'll probably go up to about $94,000. And you cannot have more than $25,000 in liquid assets. That's not bad.
Wow.
It's for your first-time home buyers, especially all of you that are my favorite people in the world, my educators that work unbelievably hard and do not get paid a lot of money for what you do. This is a phenomenal program to help you with the costs, because not only does it apply to your down payment, it also applies to your closing costs. So to stay kind of in that range, a $250,000 house, you would almost pay $0 in the transaction
Mm.
to buy a home using the Atlanta Housing Authority. So there's
It's
phenomenal
25,000.
25,000 for anyone that's a first responder, educational, medical field. Um, if you work in that field, $20,000 for anybody that's not in that field.
Wow.
And it's a phenomenal program. Your minimum investment required is $1,500. That's it. So if you're paying earnest money of 1% and the house is $250,000, you've already put $2,500 in. You're probably going to get $1,000 back at closing. It's a great program. And I took my time with it, learned everything I could about it, and I've used it now for the last 3 years. And it's helped. Well, it's helped thousands of people. I've helped about 50 people with the Atlanta Housing Grant. We also have, for most of those bond loans that I talked about, those are going to be FHA. FHA, for a lot of people, think about our first-time homebuyer programs. A lot of people that maybe have a little bit lower credit scores. But are there anything for the second-time home buyers or things like that that want to use conventional? Or maybe you're buying a home and the listing agent and the sellers don't want an FHA. So you need a conventional program, but you still need help with your down payment. We have the Supreme 100. The qualifications are a little bit higher, but it's still a great program. It's called our Supreme 100. It's a conventional 100% loan to value program. So it'll cover your down payment up to 5%. It's, again, a forgivable 5-year bond loan. The difference is your credit score has to be 660 or higher, and you cannot exceed 50% debt to income.
Right.
But no income limitations.
So what would be the benefit from getting, I guess, the Supreme 100 versus the Supreme Dream?
Well, the Supreme Dream is a 3.5%. Chances are, because it's an FHA bond loan, it's going to be a lower interest rate, because FHA in general is lower by around 3/8 to 0.5% over a conventional product, which can save $50 to $150 a year almost, depending on your loan amount. And the FHA is locked in. Their mortgage insurance, when you're using a minimum down payment of 3.5%, which is covered by your bond, is 0.55%. With a conventional Supreme 100 or a minimum down payment loan with conventional, your mortgage insurance is going to be much higher, 0.90% to 1.2%. So you're paying a lot more money on a loan that you're going to refi down the road anyway. You might as well make the most out of it and go with something that's going to offer you a better program. Also, the Supreme 100 requires a higher credit score. So those are for people that are looking at condos, and maybe that building wasn't approved by FHA, or it expired. Their approval for FHA or HUD expired. So instead of going through the very long and arduous process of doing what's called a spot approval with FHA, which take up to 6 months, and they're very rarely approved, you go conventional because it's the only way to get in that property. It's just another option, and it just goes to show that we always have an option. No matter what your program or situation is, we have an option. We even, as a company, are now incorporating what's called non-QM products into our mix. Non-QM or non-quality mortgage products are like your foreign national loans, which are bank statement loans only. Instead of qualifying you by your job and your income, we're going to qualify you by your bank statements, and we're going to go back 2 years to qualify you. Maybe you're bringing in a ton of money, but you're not claiming all that money on your taxes.
Yeah, I get
all
that.
right, that's hurt so many people buying a house. So those haven't come out yet. Those are still to come, but we're working on them right now, and we do have some great partners.
Absolutely. No, I love it. I love it. So essentially what Rory is saying, guys, is that FHA is a government backed program. I mean, if in that regard, and they have a lot of restrictions, especially when it comes to a property that maybe wouldn't fit inspection codes, say got a little damage, or let's say like certain condos, manufactured homes, Certain homes just won't qualify for FHA, and even if it does, it will take a long time throughout that process. A lot of people don't have 6 months to wait sometimes. Now, all of them don't take 6 months, but sometimes it can take that long for a government backed product like that. So a lot of people decide to go conventional with a higher credit score to be able to avoid all of those large restrictions to do it that way. In the conventional loan, if I'm not mistaken, the 100%, the Supreme 100, that's 100% funded loan, so it's no down payment required with that loan. Is that correct?
That's correct, Esau. Yep.
Cool, cool,
So
cool.
it's very rare to find a conventional down payment assistance program. Not a lot of companies do them. They come with a little bit higher risk. Fannie and Freddie don't like them unless your guidelines are strict. And so to have something like that, it's amazing. And we started this early towards the end of 2022, early 2023. And it was specifically for those buyers that were trying to get a condo in Atlanta or Georgia. And the condo association had not been approved by HUD, or their certification expired. And instead of having to go through the arduous process of trying to get them spot approved, we created a program that we could still use.
Absolutely. That's why I love Supreme, man. If you're listening to the Money Talk Mondays podcast, this is why I send all of my Atlanta buyers right to Supreme. Why? Because they have options for you. What they do is they take your information, right? You put in the application, and based on your information, based on the way your income is set up, the way your DTI is set up, your credit score, they're going to provide the best product for your situation. Whether it's okay, I don't want to pay that much on a down payment, they have a solution for you, right? If you want to bypass some of the large restrictions with FHA, they have a solution for you guys, right? You don't need a perfect credit score. I think the Supreme Dream is only a 620 and the Supreme 100 is a 660, guys. What better time to buy than right now when you have all of these unlimited products that's available right at your fingertips, right? And even if you have a few credit issues, y'all know me, I partner with Credit Repair Hex, and you can get unlimited disputes, right? Look at the information on the screen. You text credit to 470-745-2212. And what Credit Repair Hacks will do, it will repair your credit for you. You just let them know what to do on the phone, right? So it's no excuses for you not buying a home in 2024, right? Credit repair takes about 3 to 6 months for you to get in, get your credit score. I don't see the Supreme Dream or the Supreme 100 going away anytime soon. Get your credit fixed. Call me and let's buy a home. I appreciate that, Rory, man. That's real good information. I know I got a lot of first-time home buyers that's watching the podcast right now. Tell me, in your experience, what advice, if you could give them any advice to help them cross off that goal of buying a new home, what advice would you give them today?
Oh, that's a great question. Diesel, I would say this: get yourself prepared to buy a home. Pay your credit cards down. All right, keep your balances below 30% of their max. Show a history of no late payments, because the mortgage industry, lenders especially, when they pull a credit report, they judge it differently. They pull different FICO scores than your
Yes.
consumer credit. What you're going to see on the Credit Karma app or Experian Boost or maybe Discover FICO is not the credit score that we're going to pull when I pull a credit report, because we evaluate it differently and we use different FICO scores. Pay your bills on time. If you know you want to buy a house in the next year, pay your credit cards down to 30% or less and keep them below 30. The lower the balances, the better your credit score will be. Don't apply for any more credit. If you already have credit cards, you have a car loan, maybe you have student loans, or you have a secured loan through your bank, don't apply for anything else. Those inquiries hurt. They hurt a lot. And save some money. Put some money in the bank. No matter what, even with a down payment assistance program, even with a grant, there are going to be expenses. And the expenses are going to be closing costs, points and fees, something. But there's going to be expenses. You also have to move. There's going to be things you're going to have to spend while you move. You're going to find things. You're going to find things in your new home that you want to take care of, that maybe don't work the way you want them to, or aren't set up that way. There's always extra cost involved, so save money. Just keep putting it away. It'll put you in the best situation to buy a home. When you're in that position, it doesn't matter what the interest rates are. Your lender is going to work with you and say, what monthly payment are you looking for?
Yep.
Then this is what you're going to be able to afford right here. Okay. Maybe it's not going to be that $500,000 house the first time. Maybe it'll be a $300,000 house the first time. But after 5 years, that $300,000 house's value is going to go up and you have made money. You have secured one of the biggest things in your life, which is
Yep.
helping you secure your future, because real estate is number 2 on the list. And so if you can buy a home because you can afford it, you're paying for your future now. You're taking money out of your left pocket and you're putting a lot of it right back into your right pocket. When you're renting, you're taking all that money out and you're just giving it to somebody else. And it's not working for you in any way or shape. You're paying for somebody else's future. Start paying for your own.
Absolutely. And I love the tips on the credit tips, paying your card down 30%, right? And the fact that you do not have to buy the perfect home for the first time. What he's saying, guys, is you buy the home that you can afford the most right now. Secure that asset. The average seller sells their home every 7 years. So chances are the first home that you buy is not going to be the last home that you buy. Like we were saying earlier, your home is going to appreciate as long as you buy in a good area. And if you work with me, I'm going to make sure you're buying in a good area. After 7, 10 years or so, your house has increased in value, which means you have equity built in that home, and you can use that equity, right? You can either sell your home and buy another home with the equity that was in there. So let's say you buy a home 200,000, the equity has grown, the property is now worth $300,000. You have about $100,000 equity in it for easy math, right? You can sell your home, and now that's $100,000 over that you have now. You can use that as a down payment to buy your dream home or whatever home it is that you want to have next. You don't have to use your hard earned money to buy a home anymore. You can use the assets that you bought 10 years ago. So I love that. And if you're looking for any other tips, I will leave a link in the description for my 10 tips for first time home buyers. Check it out. It's free. You download it. You learn all about what you can do to get prepared for the home buying process. And let's buy homes. Call me, call Rory. I'll leave Rory's information in the description as well for you to put in that application. Give me a ring. Let me know what are your goals, and we will make it happen. Rory, man, I appreciate you joining the show. I like to end a lot of my episodes out with gratitude because I'm so grateful for my life. I'm grateful for everything that's in it. You know, a lot of the referral partners like yourself that I have that take care of my clients, a lot of clients that actually trust me, right? I am grateful for everybody. So I want to give the mic over to you and allow you to say something that you're grateful for in your life right now.
Oh, so many things. I wake up every morning and I get down on my knees to thank God for the many things that I have in life that when I was younger I took for granted. This roof over my head, the clothes on my back, the air that I breathe. I have the most incredible wife in the entire world. I work for the most incredible company that I've ever worked for. To work for somebody that shares your values and ethics is something I never knew I needed so much and just didn't know I didn't need it. I had to have it. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the incredible people that like you, Esau, that help people, that believe that helping people is so righteous and rewarding, but you're not even doing it because it's rewarding. You're doing it because it's the right thing. And so I'm grateful for that.
Absolutely, boss. I am like I love what you said about just abundance of the roof over your head, the air that you breathe, right? That's how I say we live in true abundance because we have access to these things like breath, right? Breath is vital for us to live. Without breathing, you wouldn't be able to do anything, right? So the abundance to just walk outside and breathe, the abundance of being able, the freedom to do whatever you want to do. You want to buy a home right now in 2024? Well, guess what? Years ago, people didn't have that opportunity, and you do. So I'm grateful for all of the small things that I have in my life. I'm grateful for partners like you, bro. And I'm grateful for this Money Talk podcast and every one of you that's out here listening right now. We appreciate you. And we definitely hope you have the best 2024 ever. And if real estate is in your plans in any capacity, please consider giving me a call. Would love to interview and see how I could be a good fit for you buying a home. I can help in all 50 states. And again, y'all, this video was sponsored to you by Credit Repair Hacks. You're able to repair your credit from your phone. Text credit to 470-745-2212. And before we get out of here, Rory, man, how can the people find you? Are you on social media or you got a website? How can people find you?
At Rory Hudson, and Rory Hudson.supremelendinglo.com. It'll take you right to my website, and you'll be able to download my app. You'll be able to fill out an application, upload documents, sign documents, view your entire loan package, do everything through that app. We took 2 years developing them to make sure there was no bugs in it. So perfect way to find me. And it's rory.hudson@supremelending.com is my email address.
Well, y'all heard it, dog. That's the biggest, best lender in the state of Georgia right now, right on the Money Talk Mondays podcast. I appreciate you joining, bro. Until the next time, y'all, peace, love, and light to your life. I hope you stumble on $1 million this year. This is your year. Peace.
Boss beat, boy.